This is the famous underground grotto at Margate. It's several hundred years old, and it contains over 3 million shells, all of them culled off the beaches. The designs are unbelievable, and it's a wonderful example of the way that shells can be used. Now they've lost their colour, they've turned monochrome, but imagine what they look like in their full, original, glorious colour. And all this inspired me to go and try it out myself. As children, we all collected shells off the beach and took them home because they have a wonderful kind of potent magic and beauty about them. And as grown-ups, we can still do the same thing, take them home and make things out of them. Commodore garden mussel, but a beautiful colour, purple. It's good-sized limpet, a very prettily coloured one, orange and yellow. Now, for large shells like this, which is a bit of a scallop, you'll be really lucky to find these on a beach hole. So the best place to go and find these is from a fish shop, a fish restaurant, and you can get hold of them by the bucket load. Another source of perfect exotic specimens is a shell shop. Although on the beach we found lots of tiny shells, and they're great for small pieces, for larger items you're going to need something that's really impressive. This, which you could use as a centerpiece. It kind of embodies everything about shells that I love. It's hard and it's aggressive and it's kind of very masculine on the outside and not very pretty. But inside it's all soft and luscious and pink. Of course, none of us really have got the time or energy to excavate and decorate our own underground grotto. So how do you take all those amazing ideas and translate them into something you can do at home? I've bought this fiberglass wall fountain, which means we can introduce some water into the object. And the great thing about it is it's a really strong, self-contained design. It's already there. That's one decision you don't have to make. Plus the fact it's lightweight and you can hang it anywhere. Of course, the first thing to do is to disinfect the shells. That's to clean them up. To help you work out the design of the piece you're working on, it's really useful to do a dry run. Not actually stick anything down, but just lay it out. I've used mussels for the face. I'm going to use oysters for the background. These pointy whelks are going to be the hair of the lion here. And I've also got those little yellow limpets, which are going to serve as the frame. The adhesive we're using is a cardboardy filler, so it's a 2-pack adhesive, and you need the hardener, which you squeeze onto the top in a very small quantity, and then mix in. I'm using a paint lid, flexible paint lid, so that when it's hardened off, I can crack off the remainder that I don't want. It's quite dangerous stuff. You shouldn't really work in an unventilated area, and you need really to wear rubber gloves to protect your hands. Every shell has its own kind of particular qualities in the way that it likes to be put down and set in. These guys work very well when they're kind of glued together like this. This area of flat surface is ideal for a technique that we haven't been able to use so far, which is a technique whereby you stick on, in this case, oysters, shiny side up, with a bit of glue on the back of them, and then sprinkle crushed shell, the crushed shell that we found on the beach, in between them. Of course, you needn't just stop at the object itself. You can decorate the wall with shells as well. And this is very important because it puts the object into a context. It embellishes the wall around it and makes it look even more like the grotto. To do this, I used an ordinary mortar mixed with Unibond. And to get the mixture right, all you need to do is to follow the instructions on the can. Another tip, if the pump you use is submersible, like this one, cover it with leftover shells before you fill up with water and switch on. Apart from putting shells all over a surface decoration, remember to keep back the biggest ones. I've used my favourite, the big pink one, right in the middle, underneath the fountain to catch the water. Look at that shell sand. It adds a delicate touch of glitter, so natural we could be back at the beach.
And if you'd like step-by-step instructions on how to build your own shell fountain in the garden, send in for our free fact sheet. Write to Homefront.